I'm going to hand over initially to Lord Hunt, who is a former Minister for Health, a sitting peer in the House of Lords, who was, if those of you who were watching television on the assisted dying debate yesterday, you might well have seen Lord Hunt there. But he's also a long-standing enthusiast for water fluoridation, based in Birmingham, and President of the British Fluoridation Society. So could I hand over to Lord Hunt? Welcome, Lord Hunt.
Thanks very much, Barry, and good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. It's also great to see Sir Paul Beresford, Vice President of the Society, who is here, incognito. But it's great to see you here, Sir Paul, and to many other colleagues I've worked with over the years in relation to dental health and particularly to fluoridation. It's nice to be at this wonderful dental school as well. So I'm a long-standing supporter of fluoridation. In fact, going back to 1974, when I was Secretary of the Edgware Hendon Community Health Council, and this was the start of a restructuring of the NHS, in which the government had encouraged the NHS to go forward with fluoridation schemes. And I remember organising a couple of public meetings in Edgware where we had a very, very lively debate, quite controversial, but I'm glad to say my Community Health Council agreed to support fluoridation. Sadly, it didn't go anywhere further, and I'm afraid that is characteristic of many efforts that have been made to support fluoridation over the years. Really, I suppose the combination of water company obduracy, NHS inertia and local government reluctance combined to kill off proposals time after time after time. Since then, we've had many changes of government. The NHS has been restructured endless times, and responsibility has shifted from the NHS to local government, but all to no avail at all. And what for me is so frustrating is that if you look at the kind of public health policies of the Department of Health, of the NHS, of local authorities, they all talk a very good talk about the need to take proactive public health measures to improve health. And yet, when it comes to one of the most effective measures that you could take to improve oral health, fluoridation, I'm afraid that they have been found to be wanting. And, were it not for the Fluoridation Society keeping the flag flying, I think it would be very, very difficult to be optimistic about the future, despite the fact that obviously I'm addressing you in a city whose oral health is very much better because of fluoridation. So I'm very, pleased, delighted that in the Health and Care Bill, which is currently going to the House of Commons, there is provision for the Secretary of State to take over responsibility, essentially for taking forward fluoridation schemes. It's being taken back from local government. I'm sorry in a way, because I've always thought local authorities were the right place to drive forward local public health programmes, but in the light of experience would suggest that ain't going to happen. So clause 148 of a large bill, over 200 pages, gives power, it just essentially hands over the power of local authorities to the Secretary of State to initiate new water fluoridation schemes. I think this really must be welcome. And of course, the bill's not yet through. It's going to reach the House of Lords probably in December and will take about 3 months to go through there. And no doubt, it will, I'm sure, we'll have a debate about that clause and about the way fluoridation programmes are planned to go forward. But I think that the key questions then remain, having got the power back to initiate fluoridation schemes, what is the government programme going to be? What do they have a target of either number of schemes or population reach over, say, the next 5 years? How much resources is going to be made available? And I think importantly, in the end, given the pernicious nature of the campaign against fluoridation, how determined in the end are ministers to drive forward even in the face of some opposition? Those, I think, are questions which remain and which I hope that I'll be able to initiate a debate on this when the bill reaches us. But I think one thing is for sure, that this is a new foundation. It's something that we can build on. It's probably the most important decision about fluoridation that's been made for some years. And the need, of course, for the Fluoridation Society to be at the forefront of the pressure, the campaigning that is needed is clearly very, very evident. I've been president of the Fluoridation Society for quite some years now, and I think that it does have the skills, the experience in order to encourage and assist local health services when they're considering the schemes. And that's very important, because although it's now down to ministers to initiate, in the end, the hard work will have to be done at the local level by dental health specialists, and of course looking to support from the profession when it comes to any local public consultation. When we had that first public meeting in Edgware, we had a very full 200 people came, including 180 dental students, encouraged by the local area dental officer. I'm not suggesting that that should happen in the future, but I do think we need to be prepared to battle and campaign to get fluoridation implemented. This is a great opportunity, and I think today's conference is really important towards doing it. So it's a great pleasure to just come in for a few minutes to wish you well and to say, let's mark this and the bill as a way in which fluoridation, we can see over the next 10 years, the majority of the country having fluoridation and improving their oral health. Thanks very much.